Three companies, HP, Lenovo and Dell, have launched two laptops each in the market with unique specifications. However, some of the specifications of a few laptops are unknown. Consider that a probable buyer takes into account only four features in a given laptop, vis-a-vis processor, RAM size, hard disk capacity and battery life. He will buy a laptop if a model satisfies any three of his requirements, but it must meet his requirements regarding processor and RAM. Now, in this table, we are given a few of the specifications of the six models and few are unknown. It is also given that the price of the base model, that is the simplest model, simple core processor with 1 GB RAM, 40 GB hard disk and a 3-hour battery life is rupees 25,000. And for each upgradation in a feature, an additional cost is incurred such that the cost for every upgradation in the same feature remains constant, but the cost for every feature will vary. Fine. One has to understand this very carefully. For each upgradation in the features listed from A to D below, some extra amount is charged, which is different for different feature. That means the cost for upgrading a processor will be different than for upgrading a RAM or upgrading a hard disk or upgrading a battery life, but remains constant for every upgradation in the same feature. So that means if I am upgrading the processor by one scale, there will be a cost, and the upgradation of and if I upgrade the processor by two scales, the cost will be double. That is, for every scale or for every upgradation, the cost remains the same. Fine. The upgradation amount decreases from A to D. That means in A it is talking about processors, B it is RAM, C it is hard disk, D it is battery life. That means the cost for upgrading a processor is the highest. For RAM it is lower than processor, for hard disk it is lower than RAM, and the battery life is the least, which is rupees 550 given in the statement. Also, it is always a multiple of 50. Now, there are six types of processors which are on increasing order of their efficiency are simple core, dual core, quad core, i3, i5 and i7. Extra charge for every upgradation is rupees 1000. That means for getting dual core, one has to incur additional 1000 more than simple core, 1000 more that for quad core, then in comparison to dual core, or 2000 more than simple core for quad core, and so on. Similarly, for RAM it is 1 GB, 2 GB, 4 GB, 6 GB, 8 GB and 16 GB. The cost is not known. The minimum cost, the minimum and the maximum cost for RAM and hard disk can be calculated later. For hard disk, the capacities are 40 GB, 80 GB, 160 GB, 320 GB, 500 GB and 1000 GB. The battery life can be 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours and 8 hours. We know that the cost in every upgradation is a multiple of 50. So if the cost for upgrading a processor is 1000 and the cost for upgrading a RAM is less than 1000 but a multiple of 50, the maximum value possible is 950, could be 900, could be 850 or so on. Similarly, since the battery life cost upgradation is 550 and for hard disk it is more than battery life, the minimum cost for upgrading a hard disk is rupees 600 for one upgradation. Fine. Otherwise it could be 650, 700, 750 and so on. That we will see as per the requirement of the question. Now the question is, what is the minimum possible price of a laptop such that none of the features is the same in any two given laptops? We will see the table first. Let's see. We have to see that no features matches in the two laptops. Now in processor, 5 different processors are already given. For Vostrona processor is not given, and among the given 6 processors, the only possible is simple core processor. So Vostrona will have simple core processor. Similarly, for RAM, 1, 6, 8 and 4 are given. The only two options left are 2 GB or 16 GB, 2 GB or 16 GB. For hard disk, it is 500 GB, 160 GB, 1000 GB and 320 GB. The options left are 40 GB or 80 GB, 40 GB or 80 GB. For battery life, 3, 4, 5 and 6 hours are given. The options left are 7 or 8 hours. Now, I have to calculate the minimum price of each laptop, and the minimum of those minimum prices will be my answer for the question. Now, When I talk about the RAM size of Paviliona and Inspirona, in both the cases I will consider 2 GB for a simple reason. When the price of each Paviliona or Inspirona is being calculated, both are individual cases. Both the prices are not calculated simultaneously, or both the we can have the moment when I am calculating the price of Paviliona and assuming its RAM size to be 16 GB, sorry 2 GB, the RAM size of Pavilion to be 2 GB. I am assuming the RAM size of Inspirona to be 16 GB, which is fulfilling my condition that no feature is same for two laptops. But when I'll be calculating the price for Inspirona, I will assuming the RAM size of Inspirona to be 2 GB, and for Pavilion it will assume it to be 16 GB, because at that time again also I am fulfilling my condition. Both the prices are not calculated simultaneously. Same will go in hard disk, I will assume the minimum 40 GB, and same will go in battery life, I will assume the minimum 7 hours in both the cases. Now let us calculate the minimum price for each laptop. Now I will denote each laptop by its initial: notebook, Paviliona, Vostrona, Inspirona, Ideabad, and Essentiala. The prices will be rupees 25,000 plus the cost incurred for all the upgradations. 25,000 plus 25,000 plus 25,000 plus. Now quad core means three upgradations. Quad core means two upgradations, that is from simple core to dual core and dual core to quad core. So the cost will be 2 into 1000. Dual core means one upgradation, so it's 1 into 1000. Simple core is no upgradation, so 0 into 1000. i3 is 3 upgradations, so 3 into 1000. i5 is 4 upgradations, 4 into 1000. i5 is 5 upgrade, i7 is 5 upgradations, so it's 5 into 1000. Now for RAM size, 1 GB is no upgradation. Now in Paviliona I have to assume it to be 2 GB, that is one upgradation. Now what will be the cost for one upgradation? I know that I have to minimize the price. To minimize the price, I know that the price for upgradation of battery life is 550. So for hard disk the minimum price will be 600. If for hard disk the minimum price is 600 for every upgradation, then for RAM the minimum price for every upgradation will be 650. So here for one upgradation it will be 1 into 650. For Vostrona it is 6 GB. 6 GB means 3 upgradations, so it is 3 into 650. For Inspirona I will again assume 2 GB, that is one upgradation, that is 1 into 650. For Lenovo it is Lenovo Ideabad it is 4 GB. 4 GB means 2 upgradations, so that is 2 into 650. And finally for Essentiala it is 8 GB. 8 GB means 4 upgradations, so it is 4 into 650. This is 0. I will write it as 0 into 650. Now for hard disk we have already calculated, for each upgradation it will be 600. For notebook 500 GB means 4 upgradations, so it is 4 into 600. For Paviliona 160 GB means 2 upgradations, so it is 2 into 600. For Vostrona we know that we will consider it as 40 GB only, so no upgradation, 0 into 600. Same will go for Inspirona, 0 into 600. Same now for Ideabad it is 5 upgradations, so 5 into 600. For Essentiala it is 320 GB. 320 GB is 3 upgradations, so 3 into 600. Now for battery life we know that the price is fixed, that is 550 rupees per upgradation. 6 hours means 3 upgradations, so it's 3 into 550. Here I will assume 7 hours. 7 hours is 4 upgradations, it's 4 into 550. 3 hours is no upgradation, 0 into 550. Again 7 hours is 4 into 550. 5 hours is 2 upgradations, 2 into 550. and 4 hours is 1 upgradation, that is 1 into 550. Now what I'll do, I'll just calculate the price of the upgradation and later I will add 25,000 to it. So 2000 plus 0 2000 plus 2400 is 4400 plus 1650 plus 4400 is 6050. Now this is 1000, this is 1200, that is 2200, this is again 2200, which means 4400, 4400 and 650 is 5050. This is 0, this is again 0, this is again 0, this is 3 into 650, that is 1950. On a rough look, I can say that 1950 is the least price, and 1950 plus 25,000 is 26,950, and among the options 26,950 is the least. So I know my answer is option A, that is Vostrona. But for my sake of verification, I will still calculate the remaining prices. It is 3,000 plus 2200, that is 5200, plus 650 is 5850. 4000 plus 1300 is 5300, 5300 plus 3000 is 8300, 8300 plus 1100 is 9400. Here it is 5000 plus 2600 is 7600 plus 1800 is 9400 plus 550 is 9950. So the answer is option A. I have verified it.